Good evening, energy readers of the world. We are back for more. Let's light this up. We are going to go ahead, like always, or like now, rather, for now, because, everything is fluid, like energy. So tomorrow might be totally different, but we're going to lead out with the Moonology deck. We're going to get right into this. I have a feeling pieces are falling into place. I don't know what that means yet. We're about to find out. Yeah, pieces are falling into place. You're also figuring out pieces that don't belong in the puzzle. I say that because the first card that came out is nothing will come of this situation. I don't know what that means yet. Void of course moon. A little bit different energy here tonight. uh, this message may be for somebody else. Confidence is your key to success. Confidence. And confidence can be very easily, there's a fine line I've learned myself. I've learned in life there is a fine line between confidence and cocky. And there's a lot of people I've come across in my life that would take me as cocky, but you know what? No, I'm confident, and you have a self image problem, or you don't see yourself the way that you should because you're not seeing me as I am. I'm not cocky at all. I am the first one that will show you and teach you whatever it is that I'm being so cocky that you believe I'm being cocky about. I will sit here and I will teach you exactly how I learned it, exactly how I did it or do it or whatever it is. I will teach you that. So to me, if you're cocky, you're just somebody who runs around life pretending like you know everything, but you're not willing to share anything or teach anything. So confidence is your key to success. New moon in Leo, and that's amazing because the Leo energy has been, and I didn't really bring that out last night in last night's reading or yesterday's, whatever you want to call it, because it was heavy Leo energy. Yes, with the yellow, with the sun energy, the Leo energy, and we're coming into Virgo season, which is been brought out in many readers that are saying, that this Virgo season is to be looked for, but let's not forget about right now. Let's not forget about this season. I was told to flip one more, and I'm glad I did. I listened. Normally, I only do two, but this is okay. Take time to breathe out. Take time to breathe out. They say if you can get to 6 breaths a minute, that's where it's at. 6 breaths a minute. Try that. 6 breaths a minute. And you don't realize how long a minute is until you start timing it. And this takes me back to the very first time. I'll give you this. I know I tell a lot of stories. I'm a storyteller, and at the bottom of the deck is time to release negativity. So if you don't want to hear my stories, you're gonna have to find another reader. I like to mix it all in. I like to alchemize everything. I'm not just a card reader. I'm sorry. I'm not just a card reader. Um, so, anyhow, the very first time I meditated ever, I was in therapy. And I was actually in, I share a lot of personal information and maybe too much, but you know what? At the same time, it's a way to connect to people and to let everybody understand and realize that, you're not the only one going through whatever it is you're going through. We're all on the same we're all on our individual islands, but we're all on the same earth. We're all, we're in the same place. Yeah. Let me. Oh, I'm going all over the place here. So, all right, I'll start. I'll keep going here while we do the small talk. I'll shuffle. How's that? Um. Oh, don't tell me. I don't want to flip that. Oh, forgive me here. Let me get my wits about me. I got my brain is going 1,000 places, and spirit's bringing me back. So the first time that I ever meditated was during a therapy session, which was supposed to be marriage counseling, which ended up being singles counseling. Best time of my life. Sad when you have to pay somebody to actually listen to you and then actually take time to bring out some information that you've never heard. So anyhow, all we did, the very first thing we did is he said, let's check in with ourselves. That's what he called it, checking in with yourself. And we started. He said, now, yeah, of course we closed our eyes and didn't necessarily focus on breathing, but I did try myself to focus on some breathing. But that's when I didn't really know a whole lot about, meditative practices. I'm going to stop right here because we have now I don't know, maybe YouTube will allow this card, which I don't care because I'm not monetized, but the world card, and this is my new holographic deck that just showed up yesterday, so I have already connected and slept with it. Yes, I sleep with my decks. I don't feel bad because I have nobody to cheat on. Queen of Cups. How about that? So we're going here. I love the Queen of Cups because it's kind of like my mom or my grandma. They're the only people I've ever come across in my life that truly know what unconditional love is. And so now my sister, she's learning it. Women need to learn unconditional love so that men can understand it and can also be in unconditional love. We came here to experience love. I love this spread. Uh, I love this spread already. It's looking good. So we did a check-in. 30 seconds is all it was, okay? 30-second check-in from head to toe. We started at our head, and how does it feel? And we're just, as we're moving from top to bottom, from your crown chakra down to your root, checking in. How does all of it feel? Oh, well, my neck's sore. Oh, I got a spot in my head right here in the temple. Whatever it is, as you're moving down, moving down, moving down, moving down. And truthfully, as you're doing all of that, some of those things start to subside because you're actually paying attention to it. And the only reason I'm really getting into all this was not necessarily all of that, because I did not realize how hard it is to meditate. Now, there are different ways of meditation, throughout the day, but I'm talking, the true meditation of sitting there in the quiet mind and no one around and as little stimuli as possible. And when we were done, I literally told him, I said, that was the most time I had ever spent with myself. Now, at that time, I was, married and I had 2 kids, and things were crazy, and school, and all the crazy hustle and bustle of life, right? And I did not realize, because all I did was work, home, work, home, work, home. I'm not the guy, and I'm still not the guy. I'm not the guy who runs off. I don't go to friends. I don't go to bars. I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything, because 9 times out of 10, it's always a hassle, an issue, a problem. And not necessarily, I'm not saying a problem with my wife. I just mean there's just problems. People are problems everywhere, it seems like. So I just stayed away. And I wasn't the guy who was going 5 miles under the speed limit on the way home and sitting in my driveway for 20 minutes before I walk in the door. No, I'm flooring it to work because I spent too much time at home, and I'm flooring it home because I want to get there as quick as possible. At that time, again, I'm sharing too much probably here, but with a stay-at-home mom, I felt bad. Uh, Whoops, flip my. Okay, I thought that was a legit reversal. My deck's flipped. So that was the most. I did not realize I had not spent any time literally with myself. You know, 100% with myself. And all I did was 30 seconds checking in with my body. Checking in with my body. That's it. So it's important to take time to breathe out. I'm glad this card came out. It was a story I had actually wanted to share for quite some time. Spending time with yourself. And that's part of meditation. We'll do that. Yeah, everyone's trying to meditate to spend time with the universe and get a message, or get a download. But in all, ultimately, really what it is it is time with yourself. A little bit of a recharge. It's not easy to even find that time. Everything is it's faster and faster. A guy I used to work for, whatever, he said I have to. If he was talking to somebody else, he said, I have to run faster every day. I have to run faster to stay in the same place. And that's, unfortunately what they are pushing now is we are beyond machines now. We are beyond machines. So in this spread here, let's get let's let's get back to business. That was a really long commercial break, and I apologize for that. I do not know where any of that came from. What we have here is failure to communicate. No, what we have here is the Queen of Cups with the Ten of Swords in your recent past. You are a person who has all of this love to give and all of this affection and unconditional love. And I always, so what's happened that you've given that? I always think it's funny. This card's got a little Harry Potter under there. You see the little Harry Potter guy? Yeah, he's under there. And you've been stabbed in the back, quite literally, not quite literally, but you've been stabbed in the back over and over and over again because typically, oh yeah, it's the Ten of Swords, it's the end of cycles. But because of what's going on here, what I see here is you have been stabbed in the back over and over and over again, and you're tired of it. You're just tired of it. So this goes back to the reason I brought up the story. Okay, my stories, if you pay attention, see, and I've had a lot of people tell me this in my life, and it's mostly friends, really good friends, and all we do is, my fuck around friends, right? And they tell me this, uh, Zen, you speak in riddles. I don't even understand what you're saying. I think you're making all this up. I don't even understand any of it, but if you listen, I am a enigma. Okay, that's why I follow I Enigma Scorpio. Enigma, yeah, I Enigma. And yeah, she has two channels, I Enigma and I Enigma Scorpio. I love the word. I've always loved the word enigma. He was one of my favorite characters in Batman only because it's a word, and most people didn't even know what that meant because it sounded like some a made up fake word. But so anyway, I said to take time for yourself. After the take time to breathe out came, and the story spirit brought up that time of meditation. That's what it was, a 30-second meditation, checking in with myself, spending time with myself. And now since then, I have done that. Obviously, it gets easier and easier and easier and easier to where you're like, oh gosh, hold on. Oh, wake up, snap out of it. I spent too much time because you didn't set an alarm or whatever it is. And you've been sitting there in your meditative state for too long. And boom, you realize. So, because after the Ten of Swords is amazingly, beautifully, fantastically the Nine of Cups. And when you get this card and you're holding it, it's one of those cards. It's almost like a firework. It's like you actually, when you pick this card up, it's almost like the firework just went off in your hand, and there's all these bright white, or bright lights that expand out of that center. And that's almost what I get out of the Nine of Cups, is like, you're going off now. You're exploding now in the present, or in the very, very, very close present, because confidence is your key to success. So that's what's happened, is out of this, instead of, because you can take it one or two ways. This Ten of Swords here, being stabbed in the back over and over and over again by people, can do one of two things to you. You can go the other route and completely give up on life, give up on yourself, believe everything that these people have told you, whatever lies have been stabbed into you, whatever it is that's happened in that past. Then you can stay in that, and that would be in the what? In the Five of Cups, I guess you would say, energy. So, but no, you took it the other way, and you rose above all of that, and you said screw these people, and you figured it out. And it's like, you know what, I don't even really care, because I have options. Because underneath the Nine of Cups is the Seven of Cups. So you don't care about being stabbed in the back, about all these people, all the friends that you lost, family even maybe that you've lost. You don't even care, because you're sitting in your glory, you're basking in your presence. Okay. And this is something that I guess you could say I preach, is living in the now. And obviously, and even Alan Watts will say, well, it's very hard to live in the now, because you always have to plan for, if you're going to go to the grocery store, then you're going to have to plan to, you know, do I have gas for the car? And plan for, especially if you have kids, then you have to plan for that. So you don't care because you have options. Confirmation. My phone never goes off this time of day. After that, you have the Knight of Wands. So because of that, because of you being able to sit into this confidence, because that is also what this card is 100%. If you, I mean, if you don't believe that, I don't know what you will believe. But the Nine of Cups is confidence, is 100% the most confident card that you can get, because I mean, look at him. It's the most confident face I've ever seen in the tarot. And he's smiling at you because you have mistaken his confidence for cockiness, or her. The thing that you have to pay attention to is, and it's hard to do because of these people who stabbed you in the back, and you were offering them all the love that you could at the time. And maybe they thought it wasn't enough, or I don't know what the situation was here, because the Page of Cups is underneath the Ten of Swords. So you were offering them all that you had, proudly, all that you had, proudly, confidently. Because again, this is another. I mean, he's looking very confident. He doesn't look cocky, like Stewart in what was that show? And then was it the '90s? I don't even remember the Look What I Could Do guy. Look what I can do. So yeah, uh, no, this was genuine giving. This was genuine love. But you got to watch yourself and try not to look back and at the love that you have lost, or the love that you gave away that wasn't taken. That's almost what I get here. This 5 of Cups is not looking at the love that you lost, but the love that you gave that wasn't taken. So it was lost love still, nonetheless. It was still lost love. And now this here is a great way to show reading the 5 of Swords on the flip side. Because to me, this is like a victorious 5 of Swords in this spread. Because you are victorious at taking the right information and throwing the lot. Because that's what I'm getting out of here. You've got you kept the truth. So you kept the truth, but you threw the lies down. You kept the truth, and then you threw the lies down on the ground. And there's still some that you're contemplating. And the thing is these people realize in the background there, they realize that, oh shit, we've been found out. We've been found out. You see? And so they're sad and mad and crying the blues that you called them out, and you kept your truth, their truth, whatever truth was involved in the situation, you kept it, and you said, well, screw you. I'm going home. Cartman, right? That's what you said. Screw you guys. I'm going home. I'm not going to do the voice. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. You probably have headphones on, and you will probably have to throw them on the ground. So anyway, this is a lovely read. This is just really a read of, and this is kind of going along with, we've got this new moon coming up, and and really more what it is the Venus in retrograde is of obviously the introspective time. Mainly any retrograde is more of an introspective time, because obviously we know that that's when things get messed up with communication, when you're trying to do or start new things, or whatever it is. So, and that's where you have to kind of sit in the temperance. I'm not saying that you just sit idle. Don't stop your entire life just because there's a retrograde, because great things have come out of retrogrades as well. So, and the reason why I'm telling you that you are victorious and you have kept these, you have called out the bullshit. Underneath the 5 of Swords is the Queen of Wands, and again, this is the high vibrational Queen of Wands. So this is the Queen of Wands who knows her worth. This is the Queen of Wands who is, again, I can't say it enough. The one thing I've always noticed and loved about the Queen of Wands is her confidence, not her cockiness. Now, she can easily be cocky, right? It's easy to do. And I've been guilty of it. My confidence has turned into cockiness, sure. And you kind of even have to realize and take yourself down a couple of notches. Whoops, I think I accidentally stepped into cockiness there, because it is a very fine line. It's a hairline, basically. It really is. It really, really, really is. And the other reason I always have loved this card is because I always think my little kitty's in there. Sylvester. This cat, out of all the cats that I've owned, this one, man, follows me around like a puppy. And he is like a puppy. He will sit at our dinner table like a puppy. And he doesn't hardly ever eat any of the food, obviously. I just have to point out the backs of my new deck. This is a very gorgeous deck. Very gorgeous deck. It's by Stephen Kaplan. I kept the book here just so I wouldn't screw it up. I did screw it up. Stuart R. Kaplan. Yeah. Anyway, I am enjoying it very much. Yeah, this is just let's see what advice, because because I see you being successful. So it's almost like it's. I guess we're just here to hang out for this read. Like, I don't even know why we did it. But maybe you just needed to hear that you need to become more confident. You need to take the time to breathe out. And maybe that's because you're holding your breath on this situation. You've been holding your breath on a certain situation. Well, stop holding your breath on that situation. You know, especially if it's a person. Oh my gosh, gee, especially if it's a person. You know, if it's a person, definitely don't be holding your breath there. Uh, I'm the first one to tell you that. I used to think, oh, it's worth the wait. All good things come to those who wait. And it's like if a person, especially if a person's making you wait, there's there's really not very many reasons why that would be, because either you is or you ain't. So, but I want to throw a clarifier on. I don't even think I want. I don't even think I want to throw a clarifier on it. It's cut on the lovers there. So maybe it is a love situation. I mean, I try not to read that, but I did say love, and and very well could be the love in the family. You know, but regardless, whoever that is, don't worry about it. I mean, it doesn't matter. Don't sit in this. Don't sit in this 5 of Cups. Don't. There's no reason. And there's also no reason to not give as much the next time. See, that's the other thing too. That's hard to not do, is you want to then next time, like, well, next time I ain't gonna do that. I'm not gonna love that next person as much, or I'm gonna hold back more, or I'm gonna play hard to get longer, or whatever game that you thought was gonna work, or that no, the games, they don't work. If you got to play games, then yeah, that means there's an end, right? If you're playing a game, there's always an end to the game. Game over, right? But if you're not going to play games, if you're just going to play and be in life, in reality, and in the right now, well, there is no end. Then you can step into that infinity that we had last night, where there is no beginning and there is no end. So stop playing games. Stop playing games with yourself. Stop playing games with other people, and sometimes you don't even realize that you're playing games with yourself. You're like, I think I'm messing with myself here. Holy cow. And it's like, how 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 did I get to this point in my mind, in my life, whatever it is. Right? So anyways, commercial break over again. You know, this day and age, we have a lot of commercials, folks. I'm sorry. If you want the commercials to go away, you have to $500 a year, and we'll take all the commercials out. No, I'm just kidding. That's how cable used to be. Not anymore. Used to pay to not have commercials. Anyhow, abundance. I was gonna throw it on the bottom for you, but I won't. We'll shuffle one more time, and we'll throw out a psychic reading card, and we'll wrap this up. Woo! I wish I had my tie on tonight. I wore it last night, my Phoenix tie. The whole reason I bought this deck, the Phoenix card, came out for you, which is what a gorgeous way to end the read. Gorgeous way. This is the number 27 card, and oh my gosh, can we not get away? Can we not get away from this number 9 energy? I might do a harder core rabbit hole. Sorry, okay. This has just been coming up too much. Not to mention, I have seen this energy, the number 9 energy, in a few other readers. Sorry, I got sidetracked by that symmetric sacred geometry. Number 27, Phoenix. It is time to rise and begin again. It is your time to rise and begin again. I had to say it again. And before I get into it, I'm going to just point this out real quick because it's the number 9 energy. I rarely look at the page number. The page number is 64, which is what? 10. I love it. You have received this card as the universe wants you to know that no matter what challenging experiences you have had in the past, they are now behind you, and you have the ability to rise above them. See? Due to your confidence. The Phoenix card represents regeneration and new beginnings. It is about overcoming the darkness and rising up to the challenge of whatever has been holding you back from your future. This card is a gentle reminder that you are like the mythical phoenix, which rose from the ashes and was born again. You have the ability to be powerful and succeed in light of whatever challenges are put before you. And I know a little bit about Phoenix in the X-Men, and when she became Phoenix is when everyone thought she was going to die, and she basically did die in a way, and came back as the Phoenix and had this, newfound superpower. So this is what happens when you become. I just got goosebumps, like whoop, just a jolt, like a lightning bolt. So that's what's kind of happening here. That is what's happening, is you are finding your superpowers. You're figuring out your superpowers. Have you been feeling stuck or blocked with your spiritual journey? Have you found it difficult to let go of issues from the past? Oh my goodness. It goes right with it. Nothing will come of the situation. Do you feel that everything in your life seems to be going wrong? Do you question when will it be your time to shine? Do you feel that you don't have the power and ability to achieve your goals? It's time to change your mindset. The phoenix is a symbol of power, strength, determination, and renewal. It is time to make the changes to your life that you have procrastinated over. Now is the time to begin again. You are extremely powerful. You are an extremely powerful being, and the universe wants to remind you that you have all you need to face any challenge before you. It's like your mom always told you, you can do anything you put your mind to. She was right. Mama was right. So it's time to believe in yourself and know that you are an amazing, gifted being of the universe who can and will make a difference to the world. Call on the strength of the phoenix and begin your journey of renewal today. It says today, okay, folks. I can't make this up. It says today. It doesn't say make the difference tomorrow, make the difference yesterday. Like, oh, you should have done it yesterday. No, it says make it today, right now, today. Make the difference today. And we made a difference right here. Lovely read. I'm going to go and to the number 9 energy rabbit hole a little further. I'll come back with some new info that maybe you haven't heard yet. Because I always learn something new. I love learning something new. It's the reason why I follow all you readers out there. It's not to steal your information. See, that's the thing. I'm gonna say this and then we're gonna head out. There's a lot of readers out there that get very, very what do I want to say here? I don't necessarily think it's intimidated, but it's almost like scared you're going to steal their people. I don't know what it is, but there's another reader who and actually she was in the comment section about it. Brooklyn Born Tarot, yeah. And There's plenty for everybody out here, and I'm not out here to steal nobody's people. Nobody's out here to steal nobody's people. Now, if you, I mean, there are. I'm sure I know there are people out there to steal their subscribers, but I'm not here to steal nobody. I'm here to share. I'm here to share. I'm just here to share the information and things that I've observed throughout my life. They're not even necessarily, most things I share aren't even opinions. It's the things that I've just seen. And you can call it perception if you want, and we can do that. But what I do know is we're all on the same team. We're all on the same, I've said this at my jobs. Like everyone's arguing about whatever. It's always something stupid, like some middle school stuff. But we're literally on the same team here. We're literally trying to do the same thing. We're trying to accomplish the same thing. We're saying the same thing. We believe the same thing. Well, at least I would hope so. But like this whole, I don't know. I just know that it makes me laugh. And I don't stop though. I'm not gonna stop. Uh because the thing about it is, how many people in your life can you talk to about any of this? How many people? And how many people can you talk to about it, but they actually understand what the heck you're saying? And if they don't understand what you're saying, it's easier for us to figure it out, to look it up, to contemplate, to meditate, and we can figure it out without calling the other person crazy or without, whatever it is. But we we are the only people we can talk to, and all you want to do is sit here and shun your commenters. Well, here's what I do know. Those negative commenters, they're trolls, and they're trolls for a reason. They got pain inside of them. See, when there's a negative commenter, they're not coming against you. We all know it's not a me problem, it's a them problem. They're the ones that's triggered, they're the ones that's hurt, they're the ones that's got the issue, not you. And so if they want to take their time to make a negative comment, great, because hey, we got to have the yin and the yang, right? And I've seen this taken two different ways. I've been in a lot of lives. I've moderated. I've done my time, okay? So, but I've also witnessed people who don't just automatically attack these commenters and instead treat them in the opposite way, with love, and share whatever it is on their heart at the time. And I have actually seen these negative commenters come out of that. And then they end up being a subscriber, because you didn't just attack them because they attacked you. No, they're not attacking you. They're lashing out. They're deflecting by projecting onto you. So treat that person with love. It's like the Muslim guy who literally hugged the guy who murdered his, I don't remember if it was son or daughter. It might have been his daughter. I can't remember. But this Muslim guy in the middle of court hugged. And only because the guy who killed her, actually, he went to hug him, because this Muslim guy forgave him because he understood something far more deep than most of us maybe never will. And that might be why you keep coming back here, because you can't understand this type of unconditional love. Because we should have unconditional love for each other and help each other out. When somebody gives you a piece of advice in your comments, don't attack. I've seen this before. Someone gives somebody advice in the comments, and then I see the reader make a video later on and attacks this commenter because they give them advice. Well, if you're going to sit here like I do this a lot. I do it way too much, giving personal advice. So then obviously, or I mean, giving personal information. So then people think, oh well, I can help, and I'll give them this that I read, or this that I heard, or this that I, and then they feel attacked And it's like, well, if you're going to put that information out there into the world, out here into the world, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? They're going to give you advice. And you can take it or leave it. Unsolicited advice is still advice, and it still can be good advice. It just because you don't want it or don't need it doesn't mean you have to attack this person for it. Like, no, I appreciate your advice. And you are right, or whatever it is. Or you don't have to comment at all. Because, like I tell my kids, if you just ignore him, he will stop. But the moment you react, boom, they got you. They got you. Don't let them get you. Don't fall for the woo. Don't fall for the woo. With that, I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to see you on the north side.